The hotel clerk looked up, confused. Tres huéspedes, no cuatro. 3 guests, not 4. I opened my mouth to translate, old habits, but before I could, my sister burst out laughing. "Your job's done. Thanks for your hard work. We never booked you a room anyway." Her voice rang through the lobby, sweet and cruel. My parents didn't even flinch. My mother adjusted her scarf, my father handed over his passport. It was all rehearsed, perfectly timed. I stood there with their luggage at my feet, translator, porter, afterthought. And for the first time in years, I didn't say a word. I just smiled. It had started weeks before the trip. My mother called it a family vacation, though we all knew family had always been a matter of convenience in our house. I spoke Spanish, they didn't. That was my worth. My father needed me to negotiate the car rental, my sister needed someone to carry her oversized bags, and my mother needed someone to blame when things went wrong. I told myself it was fine, that maybe this trip would be different, that maybe we'd sit at dinner, laugh, and be a family for once. But people don't change. They just find new ways to humiliate you. I should have seen it coming. The way they always referred to me as useful. The way my sister joked that I should earn my ticket. The way my mother said, "You're so good with foreign people, it's like you belong nowhere." When the booking emails came, I noticed the reservation. 3 names. Not 4. I thought it was a mistake. I asked my mother about it, and she brushed it off. "Don't overthink everything. You're always so dramatic." So I packed anyway, out of habit, out of hope. At the hotel, when they told me there was no room for me, it wasn't the betrayal that hurt. It was the laughter. My sister giggling into her phone, recording the moment. My parents watching me with mild amusement, like I was a scene they'd seen before and grown tired of. "Don't make a scene," my father murmured, not even meeting my eyes. I didn't. I just nodded. Then I set the luggage down, turned around, and walked out. They didn't even follow. They thought I'd vanish quietly. They forgot that I was the one who handled every detail. The tickets, the car, the reservations, the money transfers. They'd put everything in my name to make the process easier. My father's idea. "You're good with forms," he said. "You'll handle it better than your mother." And I did. I handled it perfectly. That night, while they were probably toasting sangria and congratulating themselves for putting me in my place, I was already in another part of Spain, Valencia. My room was spacious, clean, and already paid for. By them. I'd used their card for my ticket, same one they'd asked me to book their trip on. I transferred their spending limit into a new account I opened under my name, as reimbursement. It wasn't theft, it was settlement. I canceled their return flights the next day, cited security concerns, requested refunds, all to my email. I filed a claim that their car had been reported stolen, which technically wasn't a lie. I had the keys. When they called me, angry, stranded, begging, I didn't answer. I knew they'd survive. They always do. But survival and comfort aren't the same thing. By the time they reached me, 2 days later, they were exhausted, furious. My mother's voice trembled with rage. "Where are you? Do you have any idea what you've done?" "Yes," I said calmly. "I finished my job." She didn't get it. So I explained, slowly, like I used to when translating for them. "You wanted a trip with 3 guests, not 4. You got it." Then I hung up. It wasn't about money. It never was. It was about language, control. For years, I'd been their interpreter, their bridge, their buffer. Everything I said went through me first. And that day, I realized I could weaponize it. They depended on me to communicate, to function. So I stopped translating. I left them stranded in a country they couldn't understand, surrounded by words they couldn't decipher, menus they couldn't read, people they couldn't manipulate. They wanted to make me invisible. Instead, I made them irrelevant. When I checked out of my hotel a week later, I stood at the counter as the clerk asked, "Viaja solo? Are you traveling alone?" I smiled. Yes, finally. I walked out into the sunlit street, my own bags in hand. No one to command me. No one to command me. Just the quiet hum of Spanish around me. Familiar. Alive. I wasn't lost. I was free. They sent messages later, guilt-laced, apologetic, performative. "We didn't mean it that way. It was just a joke. You took it too seriously." But I didn't reply. Because for once, silence wasn't weakness. It was punctuation. Every cruel word, every condescending order, every fake smile, they'd all been translated, absorbed, and archived in me. And now, finally, I delivered the last line of the story. My story. I left Spain a week later.